Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're a returning subscriber and if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me on today's premiere. Yes, we're premiering and we're doing our layout for the week of October 10th through the 16th in my scripture writing section of my faith journal. So I'm going to do a different setup today, and I thought I would break out these old Kell of a Plan sticker books. There are two of the same, but I'm going to use up some stickers in here and sort of create my spread from scratch. So there aren't any weekly boxes. It's just the dotted grid line. I'm sorry, it's not dotted. It's just grid line paper that I'm using, and I'm laying down these florals in a strategic way because I want to have them as the background for some full boxes that I will be using in addition to this. So I thought I would switch it up just a little bit, you know, as opposed to constantly using the weekly layout where it has the section boxes. I just thought I would do something, what do you say, kind of like a Bougeot style. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it together from scratch. So bear with me here. So I'm just going to take some of the florals and I'm just going to cut them down in half and just spread them out across the page. And I love the vibrancy of these florals. They are just so beautiful with the yellows and the pinks and the purples. And even with the deep yellows, there is like a hint of orange coming through them. And I love the green of the leaves as well. So I'm just continuing to lay them out, and I look at it and I'm like, yeah, need just one more. I'm gonna go for one more. One more bouquet here. I'm going to cut that down in half and lay that out. And I keep thinking that I'm cutting this sticker. It's either the blade is dull or I'm not just putting enough pressure. I don't know. But I take it and I put it down a little bit more. And then even after I have put some of these down, you know, I try to still put a little bit more on the background. So you'll see what I do with some of the full boxes and creating a little more background with the florals. But I wanted them to peek through from behind the boxes that I'm going to lay down on the page. And these boxes I created myself for my own personal use. So they're measured according to the Happy Planner size. So just like the colorful boxes, I made my own that have lines and in different colors. So I'm looking for some colors that will match the floral. So I'm pulling out the pink, and I thought I had more. I actually thought I had the yellows. I really wanted to bring in that yellow, and I only had one big yellow. So I decided to use the one big yellow and put it on the Sunday, since that one's going to have at least 2 verses for scripture writing. And then I pulled out some black and the pink and yes, the purple boxes. So I'm going to use those and spread them out. And you know, the idea was good. I was going to lay them over some of the floral frame boxes, thinking that, you know, a lot of the floral design would come off surrounding my box, but it didn't. It was like basically the same size. I keep forgetting that there's a bleed mark around it. So that was like useless. It's like, why did you waste your time doing that? Because you still don't get to see the floral border. Probably just more to that one side on the right, but that's okay. I gave that up, so we're not going to do that again. So we're just going to lay down the boxes, and then I'm just laying them on the pages just to set them up and see how I want them to be lined up. And then I realized that I'm going to need one more for the left side. So I go and I pull out one for that, and then I think we're good. And you know me, I'm just such a stickler for making everything sure that everything is lined up and that it's straight. Oh, God help the OCD, but I made sure the yellow was down straight, and then now I'm just going to continue to put those, I should say shapes, because some of them are circular, some of them are square. So I'm going to go ahead and put them down. And when I put them down, I figure, you know, I can probably use some of those quarter boxes as well. So I'll be doing that. So here's where I was talking about trying to pull in more of the floral over the white to be a background. So I'm taking some of those full boxes that have the same pattern floral, and I'm putting it down so that it's not so much white showing out behind my shapes. And then I go ahead and I start to lay down the circular and square shapes in the different colors that I'll be using to write the scriptures on. And of course, it's got to be straight. It's got to be straight. So there I go again, pulling it up. Is it just me, or is there anybody else like that? I know it's something I need to get over. It's like, I want it, I understand it needs to be a little crookedness to it, but sometimes I just get a little too extreme. It's like, Michelle, just leave it alone. Then I end up tearing it. And it's like, oh, why didn't you leave it alone? God help me. But anyway, I'm just about done. But before I put that down, I'm like, you know what? I could use one of those full boxes with the florals. And I put it, I believe it behind that top one at the, on the right side. I think that's what I do. And then I'm switching out some colors here just to give a variety. So instead of the black, I switch it out for the purple, and in a different shape I use the circular. So there you go. I'm pulling up that full box, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't want it against the white too much. I'm going to include one of the full boxes with the florals to give a little bit more of a floral pattern behind that. I'm a floral lover. I can't help it. And there we go. So we've got more of that floral pattern behind that circular purple shape at the top. And then I do the same on the left side. All in all, I like how it came together. Is it floral overload? Not for me. Maybe for some, but not for me. But I love how it turned out. And because, you know, one side has 3 days of the week and one side has 4, there tends to be a little bit more space on one side as opposed to the other. But it's okay because I get to utilize that space with even a scripture, and I will incorporate, of course, some dolls. I'll use some of the minis and place them on the layouts. But before doing that, I thought it would be best to at first put down the days of the week. At least I can know what spacing I can work with as far as laying down the minis. So I put down the days of the week first. See how that looks. And then after I put down those days of the week, I will put down the dates. So I put that one there. I was like, nah, I don't know what I was thinking, but I'll switch it over to the right side. Thankfully, it just comes up easy. It doesn't give me too much of a hard time. I think when you've got some good sticker paper, it doesn't give you too much difficulty in coming up off of the paper. Although I do think I tore one of them just because of me trying to make it straight. I tore one of them, but it's okay. It wasn't too much of a big tear. And you'll see that when I go in and pull some of the, I think you call them quarter boxes from the Keleva Plan sticker book. I figure I'd use the quarter boxes to write in the scripture reference on all of the days. So I go and I pull out the quarter boxes. Sorry if you see this camera shake from time to time. It's in an awkward position, but I'm doing my best. So yeah, I go and I dig out some of those quarter boxes. And I try to find matching colors, opposing to the color I'm putting it next to, of course, but matching to the layout. And I'm putting them down, and I can use them as scripture references. I mean, the boxes where I can write down the scripture reference. And I love that some of them have the floral bouquet. That one just like kind of just went, that's where I tore the paper just a little bit. That one just blended into that bouquet on there. Just, it just looked like it was like a clear box, and it just went right over it. If you ask me, it just worked. And I'm completing this, and then I can, what do I do next? Yeah, I think the only thing left for me to do after this is to put down the dolls. But before I do, I go into, I believe it's the AC More. Yep, it's the AC More Faith sticker book. And I got these off of Amazon, and I have two because I just love them. So I'm looking for just a quote or scripture reference that I can put at that big space on the top left of the page. And then I come across these butterflies, and I felt that it pulled some of the orange and also that green from the layout. And then I'm looking for some wording that I can put next to it. And since I have an idea of the mini that I'm putting at the top of the page, I figure I would use a quote that I skimmed past, and it says, don't forget to pray. So I decided to use that after flipping through these books. I decided on using that one. I was thinking about that one, but then when I went through the sticker book again, I decided to use the one that says, don't forget to pray. And it just went well, since Sister Praise is on her knees in prayer. So I'm trying to see how to lay them out next to each other. And don't be afraid to cut your stickers, especially the clear ones. You can cut the ones with the white offset as well, but the clear ones especially, don't be afraid to cut them to make them fit where you need them to go. So I'm just lining them up sort of in a sort of a way before I commit to laying it down. And then I'm going to cut the butterfly so that I can lay them out in the way that I see that they're surrounding the wording. So that way I get them all to fit. So it looks like some are just flying over to the left, and then we've got this big one who's flying to the right. And I love my butterflies and florals, and I just think that just turned out so cute. So all that's left for me to do is to lay down the rest of the minis. So I'm putting Sister Diza on the bottom, and I'm going to move that over just a little bit, and it is just cooperating, not tearing. I love it. Gives me the space that I need to lay her down. And after I lay her down, I'm going to lay Sister Audrey over on the top right, and Sister Devi on the bottom right. And then I will call my layouts done. I will put them back into the planner in between last week's layout, because I don't want to take up layouts for the next week. So this will work for me for the week. I love how this turned out, and I would love to use this sort of a layout again, where I can just like create my spread. This was fun, and it turned out beautiful. It's something that's really going to be aesthetically pleasing to look at during the week when I'm having that quiet time and writing my scriptures, my daily scriptures, and just meditating on the word. So basically that is it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would sure appreciate it. And comment below and let me know if you create your scripture writing layouts from scratch, or you're just using presets like I normally do, which are the weekly boxes. And that is it. I will chat with you all later. Thank you for joining me on this plan with me for the week. All right, y'all, be blessed. Bye-bye.